Hello people, I'm Jaby Koay, joined by ACHARA KIRK.
What's up, peeps?
We got another video here from Lou from Unbox Therapy. This is from his other channel, Later Clips, which is off of his other channel, Lou Later. So it's like excerpts from his podcast. This one is called Qualcomm investing $100 million into JIO.
Wow.
And so all of you guys are familiar with JIO. I thought this could be an interesting topic to explore, and we can take what he's talking about here and expand on it.
Speaking of computer components, chipmaker Qualcomm is investing $97 million in JIO platforms. JIO platforms, I'm sure you're aware, Will, this is the big player. This is the big piece, the big communications company headed up by Asia's richest man, which people tell me when I posted the article, India's richest man. He said, hey, Lou, get it together. That's Asia's richest man. I was like, whoa. Well, he's India's richest man too.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyways, they want to improve their relationship as you would if you were a chip maker, as you would if you were interested in 5G. Biggest telco in India is going to be deploying all kinds of 5G equipment very soon. And Qualcomm they would want to be along for that ride, testing their devices and their upcoming chipsets. So this is, believe it or not, this is not a lot of money. Mm-hmm. What's this guy? Ambani has a net worth of 58 billion. So 97 million, wait, what? Who cares, right? I mean, the company, I'm sure, is worth even more than that. It actually only accounts for a 0.15 stake in the company through its venture arm. So it's not a significant amount of money, but it actually kind of reminds me to a certain extent of Sony's investment in Epic Games that we reported.
Yes, I was just about to say that. Sony did the same thing. They dropped a bunch of money into Epic Games.
What it is it's kind of a gesture. It's a handshake. It's a corporate handshake. It says, we support you, you support us.
Yeah.
We need a little information. We want to run a test.
Because Epic Games is worth billions of dollars, and Sony dropped a bunch of money, but it was like nothing.
If we're building the devices that eventually end up on your network and the equipment that goes into the devices that eventually end up on your network, we should have a better dialogue, an open dialogue, and we should be invested in each other's futures, which is what this kind of comes down to. Qualcomm is the second chip maker to pump money into JIO platforms after Intel invested $253 million to pick up a 0.39% share. The US-based chip maker is a key pillar in 5G development, especially when it comes to mobile phones. The investment can help both companies test 5G in India. Ambani, which is Reliance's chairman, Reliance, the company, what would you say?
The parent company?
The parent company?
Parent? I don't know. I think that it's just JIO, I guess, is a brand underneath the Reliance
parent company umbrella.
The big daddy.
He said, Qualcomm offers insights that will help us deliver our 5G vision. Here's a quote. Qualcomm has been a valued partner for several years, and we have a shared vision of connecting everything by building a robust and secure wireless and digital network and extending the benefits of digital connectivity to everyone in India. As a world leader in wireless technologies, Qualcomm offers deep technology know-how and insights that will help us deliver on our 5G vision and the digital transformation of India for both people and enterprises. This guy he's gonna run for leadership eventually. You keep busting out quotes like that. Anyway, JIO is raising a boatload of cash. That's right, I would call it that. $15.73 billion from 13 different investors in the past few months, including names such as Facebook, Silver Lake Partners, and General Atlantic. You can add, of course, Qualcomm to that list now. I would say people are interested in India and this expanding telecommunication setup, 5G setup, and the potential to connect, well, billions of people.
Right on.
Holy moly.
Yeah,
Damn.
India's the future, man.
My mom was right. 10 years ago, my mom was like, just watch. India is going to be a superpower. You wait and see.
Yeah.
My mom's always right. God damn it.
Foxconn apparently also, according to Lou, is investing in India.
Was that $1 billion?
It looks like $1 billion.
Damn.
Still within the business section, Apple supplier Foxconn plans to invest $1 billion in India. Sources, Economic Times. $1 billion is not nothing. That's some money.
That's a lot of money.
And when you put it into a plant, you can do things with it, Will. You can increase capacity.
Right.
You can put up another building. You can hire more people. And you know what all that eventually results in?
What?
You can make some more phones. See how that goes? No. So Foxconn, I mean, I feel like most people know this at this point, but Foxconn, they're making iPhones.
Yeah.
If
They're the
you're-
biggest producer.
if you're an iPhone customer, you're a Foxconn customer.
Yes.
Apple has a relationship with Foxconn, Taiwan-based business. Increasingly, the report,
Yeah, so the whole idea is that Apple's trying to get out of China.
Yeah.
It's that simple. They
Well, I
want-
thought they've been trying to do that for a long time already.
Yeah, that's the short answer. Is they're shifting production over to India, and because it's like China has so many people who are smart and can take on these jobs. Who else is in the world that has a bunch of smart people that can take on these jobs? India,
Yeah.
right? And so obviously India's got a lot of youth, a lot of expansion. For years, it's been clear that India is the future. And my dumb ass had no idea, like me getting into the Indian scene was purely just filmmaking passion.
Right.
That was it. Like it had nothing to do with trying to tap an industry, you know, because I get these comments sometimes going, oh, you're just taking advantage of Indians, blah, blah, blah. And you just do a reaction video to Indian content and that's how you make money and blah, like kind of trying to downplay it, calling me as someone who's targeting India. It's like, that wasn't the intent. That was just a byproduct of the
But
situation.
you can certainly see how
But-
it looks like that from the outside.
Yes, based
Yeah.
on all these business transactions that are happening, I mean, you can see what everyone else is seeing, and they're investing not in tomorrow, but like 10 years from now. Wayne Gretzky has that quote that Kevin Smith said. Kevin Smith like watched some Wayne Gretzky documentary, and it's
Is he like a hockey player?
Wayne Gretzky's a hockey player, yeah.
Okay.
And so he goes, don't go where the puck is, go where the puck is gonna be.
Right, that makes sense.
The idea is like trying to figure out where everything is headed and then investing in that front. If you can predict that, you're bound to make a lot of money. Tesla, for instance, years ago, if you thought about it, like looking at the trajectory of everything, people might have laughed at Elon Musk. You're trying to make electric cars. Those are dead. A friend of a friend bought Tesla when the stocks were at $100. Currently, the stocks are at $1,500. So if you bought, you know, I don't know, if you put 10 grand into Tesla when it was $100 a share, can you imagine how much money you have now? India is clearly the future business-wise, and I'm trying to figure out like what that means for the average Indian person. What will that mean in terms of jobs? What will that mean in terms of your value, your worth? Like, because every American consumer has a certain amount of value and worth. That's why they're data mining us all the time, right? We have purchasing power of some kind to buy cars, to buy houses, to buy groceries. Mary Crawford or whatever it's called, Mary Crocker, Crocker Pots. Crock pots.
Betty Crocker?
Betty Crocker, there you go. Eventually we'll get there. All the goods that you can purchase, right?
Right.
You know, cigarettes, movies, whatever it is. And so there's a certain amount of buying power. And I think that the easiest way to sort of see what is gonna happen with India is to just look at China. Because there was at one point, I don't know if it's still true, like it said, there was a saying that every 5 days, China made a new billionaire.
Yeah, I heard that.
And so eventually that's what's gonna happen with India, where every 5 days you're gonna have a new billionaire coming out of India. And it's like, that's gonna be like a very competitive market. And so if you are someone outside of India with a lot of money, it would behoove you to get into that market before it gets even bigger.
Yeah.
He was talking about the handshake of the $100 million. It's really like a means of starting that communication because $100 million is nothing. Sony did the same thing for Epic Games, and Epic Games is worth like billions of dollars.
Right.
But they dropped like, I don't know, $100 million into Epic Games. It's like, thanks, I'm gonna
In the
go buy a
grand scheme
yacht
of-
now.
It's not an insignificant amount of money, even though it kind of feels like an insignificant amount. Like $100 million isn't like, you know, a penny.
Yeah.
It's still a lot of money, but I guess when you're kind of going, well, this business is worth billions, 100 million is kind of like not that much.
Reliance is one of the biggest companies in the world, and I guess Reliance and JIO are tied together. I had no idea how big Reliance was. This whole time, I've been looking at like our logos, right? And I've been seeing like these Chinese characters pop up in film industry, in films,
Yeah.
the logos at the beginning of films,
Yeah,
right?
like the production.
The production logos.
Yeah.
And I would see a lot of Chinese logos and it was freaking me out. And every now and then I'd see Reliance Entertainment. I'm like, okay, cool. I thought that was an American company for the longest time.
Yeah.
I had no idea it was an Indian company. It's time to start looking out for India next as taking over the American film market. That is exciting though, because I don't feel like Indian companies are necessarily going to try to impose Indian values on American films. I think Indians are excited about, and when I say Indians, I mean Indian producers, they're excited about American films and what Americans make. And whereas I feel like when you have Chinese producers coming from the Chinese film industry, they're always trying to impose Chinese philosophy on some level.
Right.
And dictate what you're allowed to do as a storyteller. And I think that there's a lot of Americans who would be happy to have Indian producer investors over Chinese investors. I'm just taking a guess here. If any of you guys are part of that industry and you want to comment below, I would love to hear some insight on that. I only know one dude who is from India and worked on films over here, and he worked on the Bourne franchise, and I could probably reach out to him to get more insight on that and see like if there's any validity to what my guesses are. Yeah, this is really exciting. JIO is the one who was supplying free internet to everybody for the longest time.
No, I mean, it's smart to like invest in the future, and the future is 5G, and there's like over 1 billion people in India, and every day more and more people are getting connected to the internet and, you know, having access to this all on their phones.
Right.
So yeah, it's a smart move.
Well, one of the cool things is they say that India is a developing nation, right?
Yeah.
Which means that there's a lot of room for building proper infrastructure from the ground up, as opposed to like, okay, let's say a house, right? If a house was built before 1970, it's unlikely that it has central air in it. Central air is where it's in the ceiling, it's where you don't see it, as opposed to a wall unit AC, which is what most of you probably have, where you can see the air conditioning, right? And so I'm fortunate in that this apartment building has built-in central air. So if you wanted to install central air into a house that's already built, it's very costly because you have to take things apart in order to add that in, as opposed to it just being built from the ground up with it. Do you see the difference there? And so with India still being a developing nation, you have the opportunity to build things with future technology installed at the get-go.
Right.
In areas that have yet to be developed as much as like Mumbai or Delhi or whatever the case may be. There's a lot of exciting infrastructure to build upon there for these investors, these wealthy people who like,
Yeah, I mean, I hope that it helps to like bolster the Indian economy as well, and
that's what I'm wondering.
That's why down to the people.
That's what I was asking about. Like, what does that mean for all the average Indian person? Does that mean a lot more jobs are coming?
More jobs, hopefully.
Well, with Apple going there and with Foxconn going there, there's presumably going to be a lot of jobs in that market, in that area.
Yeah.
Right. You'll have a lot of people flocking to those industries. I'm sure that will also spawn inspiration for other companies to do likewise. Like, I think you're going to see a lot of companies like they're going to follow suit, going, "That's where the money is. This is the next gold rush. We got to get over there."
Right.
So for those of you that don't know, I'm sure most of you watching this might know about this. Gold rush refers to the California gold rush of the 1850s, I believe, where it was thought that California had a bunch of gold. And so a bunch of people flocked to California in an effort to capitalize on that and mine for gold. That's where the word gold rush comes from.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that a lot of these huge companies are going to see India, or are seeing India as the next big gold rush, spanning like decades. Not right now, but like spanning decades.
Yeah.
It's a marathon. That's what investing is. It's a marathon in order to rake in billions and trillions of dollars ultimately.
Later, yeah.
So anyways, yeah, this was exciting. This is interesting. And for those of you who are like in the tech realm of India, the business realm of India, I would love to hear from you guys in the comments and expand on this and like help teach us, teach the rest of us what's going on here. I would love to know more. So thanks so much for hanging out. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Check out ACHARA KIRK on the social media, as well as the Jabs. If you feel like doing that, Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. And check out our other reactions, reviews, short films, vlogs, and interviews. I'm Jaby Koay. This is
ACHARA KIRK.
Peace out.